What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we are going to be taking a look at SexyIce 2019, which, for those who aren't aware, they're the ones producing all the most notoriously known for their Unk Val Eliminator, and they've recently made some other figures, and they're definitely causing a lot of shockwaves. And I definitely have not seen a whole lot of people talking about this company, and I think this is a company that has the potential to rival the top three, which is, in my opinion, Mayfex, Tamashi, and Yamaguchi. I know those are they have their actual names, but those are the popular names for them, and I definitely think that those are the biggest three toy companies around, as far as like quality wise, right? And Sexy Ice can definitely give them a run for their money. But I'm gonna go ahead and mention it right now. If you guys want to see more of these kinds of videos, I am definitely going to be keeping a close ear to the ground with Sexy Ice, as I really like this company. It's a company definitely believe in. I like their products. I think they're pretty wholesome. I think they're you know innovating, and I think that is definitely super important because most companies are just making comic book figures and figures of popular media, but these guys are making unique figures that are amazing. So if you guys are interested in continuing to hear about what's going on with Sexy Eyes, definitely make sure to drop a like, share, and sub. And I highly encourage you like and share, because the more I guess views and attention that this video gets, the higher chance that Sexy Eyes watches my video and could hear what I have to talk about. But anyway, let's jump straight into it. And we're going to start with the controversy right now, is with this Sexy Ice X Heat Boys. I don't know what Heat Boys is. I think they produce like other figures, but I don't see the whole correlation with the yellow. I don't know what that whole correlation is there, but this is a China Joy event exclusive that was limited to 200 pieces, and people are definitely not happy about it. If you can go ahead and see here in the comments, there's a lot of people that are definitely not happy about this, and understandably so. I'm gonna be completely honest. I definitely understand where they're coming from. This is a figure, not this one exactly, but let's see if we can find the regular Eliminator. It's dead and gone, so they definitely were not showcasing it as much as they were some of their other figures. But let's see if we can go ahead and find it. Whatever, I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, it was the regular version, which I do have a review, which I'll probably be putting somewhere over here, so you can go ahead and check that out. But this figure was a obviously it's a bit of a repaint. It has a little bit more of the glossy black on the boot areas and stuff, and then obviously the most noticeable difference between the two is the yellow coloring on some of the pieces of the armor, which is very, very, very nice. As a lot of their figures are not having very vibrant colors, for them to make like a very vibrant color variant and kind of be put it behind a very exclusive event, and then even less production, is definitely gonna make some fans definitely ask questions, and definitely gonna get them some negative comments, right? And so I'd say, as far as like the original release, I've been following this company since probably like mid 2023, when they started showing off the Manticora, which was actually shown off. The prototype was shown off before the Unk Val Eliminator. So I don't really know what their process is. I don't know if they were just waiting to drop the full product, but I definitely remember seeing this and the Manticora before I even saw a prototype for this guy. So I don't know what the whole scenario was there, but that's kind of the case, right? They started showing this guy off like at the start of 2020. I want to say like the end to start of 2020, end of 2023, start of 2024. And then he obviously dropped probably around May, I think, is when mine shipped, and I ended up getting mine. I think like the first week of June, if I remember correctly, was when I got my squad of eliminators. And I will definitely say that they have said right out, I was trying to find it, but I wasn't able to find the comment where someone asked them, and they're like, "Are you going to be doing a reissue?" And they said that there is no intention to reissue or reprint any of these figures, which is gonna bring me to my next point. But first, I want to talk about all the releases. So with that, this guy is pretty much unattainable for the foreseeable future. He's limited to 200 pieces and is an event exclusive in China. So pretty much the only way to get this guy is going to be the aftermarket, and I don't know if anyone would even be willing to sell this guy because it looks freaking amazing. But showing off their current pre-orders that you can still get, or two of them, is the Ankh-Val Smasher, which this guy is going to be made to order, and I believe the window closes at the end of August, so the first day of September, and they're supposed to be coming out in December, which I think that'll probably be more like January of next year, February. I don't know this company to be doing many delays, but that is a pretty quick turnaround. That's like a 3 month difference turnaround. So I don't know if that pre-order date is official or anything. But this guy is still available for pre-order. Again, they've said it multiple times, and let me see if I can go to their post where they're talking about it. Um, it says right here, this product is made to order, so no stock will be held in advance. It's a limited time pre-order campaign, and obviously they recommend people to get it. So pretty fair warning. And this guy, they didn't even announce it because it's like nobody's gonna be able to get it except those people that go to that China Joy event. So this guy's dead in the water, but make sure you guys pre-order this guy if you're interested. Which they look absolutely amazing. Here are the pictures of those, and they're grandeur, full scale images of these guys. And I mean that blue gray with the crimson red and that like vanilla white and the silver. I mean, it is just beautiful, and this guy is definitely something that if you're interested in this brand, you should capitalize on being able to get it now, because it looks like they're not a company that's going to be doing reissues or anything of that nature. Moving forward, their other pre-order that is still available here on Bombas B is the Manticora, which is the artificial evolution guy, and he's the one that's like supposed to be like a big boss kind of guy. There's all the stock images, and then there's also photos of him at the event. There's not as many close-ups as I wish there was, but there you can see the alternate head for the Eliminator, and then you have the full thing right there, and then obviously you can see him with the battle damage, and then I think there's another one. Yep, there's a closer picture. The squad of Eliminators just dead as hell. Yep. So it looks like he's gonna be pretty big. Like if you can kind of get a scale, he's probably like at least half a size bigger of these guys. So he's gonna be pretty freaking huge. So I recommend you go ahead and put your pre-order in for that guy. And then the one that I was pretty surprised is already sold out is this guy, which there's no picture of him. I'll show the listing here. It's just like the concept art, I assume, for this guy. But I think it's this guy. It's the only thing that somewhat looks like this dude. But I could be wrong. I don't even know if they've put this one up for pre-order. Again, I could be wrong, but I think this is the only like thing that looks like it. Could be like the alternate head on this guy. Like the armor kind of looks like him. The eyes look sort of similar. But this one does have 4 arms, so huh. I don't know. I don't even know what figure this is, but I think this is this guy. If I'm not mistaken, it could not be. I could be wrong, but it looks like this guy. But regardless, this one is sold out. So yeah. So it's saying B0200. Oh no, this one's B006. Huh. So they didn't even show off the B006. Interesting. Okay. Never mind. I don't even know what this guy is. They haven't even put his pre-order up on Bombas P. So, huh. So, we'll wait and see for that guy. But anyways, moving on. I obviously, as I said, there is something that could potentially happen if this company doesn't sort of make these figures more accessible. And I think you could all guess this could happen. CT Toys, right? And I don't know. I don't know if it would be CT Toys directly. I don't know the way it works. But it could be the bootlegging route, which is very, very popular right now. I mean, CT Toys is. There definitely is a lot of people who have stopped buying official Mafex and Yamaguchi because the turnaround for CT Toys is like a year at most. And I think this guy isn't even a full year yet. Because if I remember correctly, this guy dropped around like November of last year, and we're getting a bootleg of him in July of 25. So pretty quick turnaround, less than a year, and I assume this guy's probably coming out within the next month or two. And Sexy Ice is eventually gonna get to the point where people are really, really wanting these guys, and they're not able to get them, and they're gonna get bootleg. Like it's an inevitable fact because it's really about money at the end of the day. They're leaving a lot of money on the table if they are not going to be doing any reissues, reprints, or even variants. I did see a comment of someone saying that like there's a chance that they could make variants of the Eliminators, like not just this one but other variants. And I really hope that that's the case. I really, even if they do like I really hope they do color variants, like one in red or one in like I saw someone say like, oh, that what if they made an all pink one? Like I would eat that up, bro. Like that would look amazing. But even if they just do like a slight paint variation where it's like, oh, gray instead of the heavy black on the figure, I think that would still sell amazingly because at the end of the day, these are very unique designs and very desirable designs. Like you can buy like 7 of these and have a badass looking army builder, or you can have just one and have it look amazing on its own. Like it's just a very, very highly sought after figure right now and a very good concept for an action figure. And I really think that Sexy Eyes should not be limiting themselves to being forced to buy it on the secondhand market because these guys, the originals, were going for like north of $300 for just one. I saw the Eliminator squad pack. It was going for like north of $800, which is like crazy. So the demand is definitely there, but the supply is pretty low. And I think that Sexy Eye should capitalize on the fact that people are willing to blindly give their money to them just to have these figures that are they look amazing. They're unique designs. There's something that I don't know any other brand that's doing stuff like this to this quality and to this attention to detail. And it's just it's crazy. It's crazy that we're getting such unique figures at such a high quality. These are the original Eliminators, and the company that's making them is unwilling to do reissues or reprints and stuff like that. Now I've heard the argument of people like, "Oh, I think it's nice that not everyone has access to these." I think that's a load of horse shit. Excuse my language, but I really think that that's stupid, and it's what gatekeepers like to say, and also people who like to scalp shit like to say, so that these figures stay expensive. And I call bullshit on that. I have these, and I did sell one for a pretty high price. I don't care if you missed out, you missed out, and you had to pay the secondhand price. But I definitely don't think that that's something that people should be forced to do. I think that you should be able to buy these products from the brand itself at a reasonable price, and they should be readily accessible because they're amazing, and they could definitely go to bat with the big three, like I mentioned at the start of the video. Now, whether they want to do that or not, maybe that's why they're limiting it. Maybe they don't want that responsibility, which that's a whole different conversation on its own. But for the most part, it definitely looks like they are, trying to run off of that hype. Like I remember I started following this account when they had like 1,500 followers Now they're at 6,000 and growing. Like every toy collector and like major news outlets for toy news are talking about these figures, and they're getting the people talking. And it's just kind of crazy that they're not willing to meet the demand. So again, that could be because they don't have the manpower, or they don't have the the how would you say, like the operation size to be able to do that. But I definitely think they shouldn't be shooting themselves in the foot, going out and telling people that they're not going to be able to get these and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I definitely think that that's not something you should be doing as a growing, business. I think if they keep producing designs like these, they are on the way to becoming a goat for sure, for sure. And then of course, like I said, if they don't want people over here replicating their stuff, making crappier variants but decent, which is what CT Toys is, they're missing out on that money, right? Because they're giving it to these other brands that are gonna buy these figures. Yes, they're amazing quality, but they're not how would you say, like you can't replicate them. That everything can be replicated. They're replicating Mafex, which is like one of the staples for action figure quality, and CT Toys is making pretty decent replications of that. So I would say that you should definitely capitalize. In case Sexy Eyes is watching this. And one thing that also people were talking about is like, does this company even respond? Like, yes, they do. Every single post that I've made, when you tag someone, it sends it to them. They've liked my post. They replied to my message. So they're definitely listening, and they can see. They're not too big to the point where they really can't see comments. So what I would say, kind of wrapping up the video, is give them a piece of your mind. Like I would say, don't talk shit really, because that doesn't get anywhere. And they're doing really good work. They really are. But I would definitely continue to kind of chastise them and ask for those reissues, ask for those reprints, ask for those variants. Like I think that is probably more likely a variant, maybe not the exact color scheme of the original Eliminators, but they can definitely produce variants of these, and I will even buy them, even though I have these. Like I said, I think Sexy Ice is one of those companies that took people by surprise, and they're probably not fully ready to react to that demand. So I would say give it some time, but definitely let them know what's going on. And I always advocate for that. Always let these companies know what's going on. Issues that you may have, and it seems like Sexy Eyes has their ear to the ground, so they'll probably hear you, and hopefully they'll end up reissuing or reprinting or making new variants of these guys, and then making their figures more accessible. But without further ado, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing, as that always helps out the video. And without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a great day. Peace.